Shut up, Miracle.
I'm going to try and cut funnies. I was reading a petition.
Reform guys, everyone quiet down, please.
So, taking off my SBA hat and putting on my Strut hat, so don't get me getting bad and intimidated. Don't allow me to sway your opinions. I'm not here to do that. I'm only here, right, I'm going to let them speak for the most part. But I'm only here to provide emails and documentation. Additionally, the Strut committee started May of 2011. It was announced who was on the committee, and we were notified that we would be putting on a show in the spring. So we were all hired under the intention that we would have a show in the spring. When we actually came back from the break, we found out that our location for the show, that like First Eagle Center, we originally had it for March 31st, and it was taken off, and we found out that was not due to anything by Dr. Whittier, even though it had a name on it. It was due to basketball. They had to have the schedule open in order for, just in case we wanted to NCAA or whatever. So they weren't able to keep our location, so they took it off. And that was after being notified. I found out trying to do the grapevine. And that's documentation that we did have it for the 31st. Then there was discussion to have us move to the Landmark Theater. Even discussion for us to be in the Commons. Our models alone, there are 60 models. In the Commons, the largest room we have is the Commonwealth Ballroom, which holds about 100 people. So that would not be logistically possible. And our argument for not being able to have it at Landmark Theater is the seats are nailed to the ground. So creating a runway would be just as pricey as actually booking the Seagull Center. And then it would be more difficult and unpleasant for people to have to turn in their seats in order to see the runway. So here are the emails about, and then we also tried to look into getting the convention center, but we were told to desist on proceeding with that. So we were sat down and we were asked, is there any way we could possibly get the Seagull Center for our show? We had to type up a business proposal, which has not been done before in our history. And we basically wrote out what is success to us so we would be able to get a location. We came up with a plan in order to, we talked about a plan so we'd be able to have the show, and it was discussed that we would be able to get the show, book the Seagull Center from April 7th or April 8th. We chose April 7th, and later to find out that April 7th was the day before Easter, but we said we would try to still make it work because we had faith in our organization, an organization that has gotten people internships, careers, and we wanted to proceed forward and have our show since that was the only day that we can get it booked. We were told the reason they didn't want us to have Seagull Center was because last year we only sold 500 tickets, but after doing research, we found out that actually last year we sold 1,406 tickets or given it away. However, we got out 1,406 tickets, which was an increase from 2010 and 2009. When we came back from the break, like we had the intent that we were going to proceed with the show. I met with Dr. Whittier, so we would be able to talk about the budget and everything. Everything seemed fine. It was in our agreement to discuss that, and that's when she put in the dates for us to have Fashion Week, and that's when she put in the dates for us to be able to promote for it, which is also in the handouts that I passed around. But I just found out recently that it was always in discussion for them to move our show to the fall. They kept pressing for us to move our show to the fall because they didn't feel that we could have a successful show if we had it this spring. So instead of working with us and creating a strategic plan for us to be able to have a successful show, it was pressed on for us to have a show in the fall. And we did not find this out until recently. So these are things that we've been working on. We have prices for contracts. contracts are not due until February 3rd, so we still have time to get contracts in. Designers have already started investing money and started making clothes. Nobody up here that's on the committee gets paid. None of the designers get paid. So we're all doing this voluntarily because we want to put on a show and continue the legacy and the tradition that VCU brags about, which brings diversity to the school. We were then later, as soon as we got back, like over the winter break, we were told we would still have a show. They asked what was the status of everything. It still seemed like we were proceeding forward. But as soon as I got back, they asked us again, will we move our show to the fall? And we said it was spring or nothing. People have already started investing money, investing time. Somebody on our committee stayed here extra semester when they could graduate in December so they would be able to do it. People have already been to workshops in the fall to prepare for the auditions that was actually supposed to occur, I think, tomorrow, right? Yeah. So we were already pretty much in full swing. So it's self-explanatory why we said we did not want to move our show to the fall. And then we got called to our urgent meeting with Dr. Rodriguez. Dr. Reed and Dr. Barrier were not present. It was their intent for us to have the show in the fall. But in this meeting, we were basically told not only will we possibly not dare, like we could have a show in the fall, we were told that we pretty much didn't have a say in this decision, but they didn't want to put a date on it, so there may not be a show, period, for a while. So we were hired to put on this job.
There are 2 minutes remaining. Is there a motion to extend time?
Motion to extend time by 5 minutes.
Second.
Okay, there has been a motion to extend time by 5 minutes. That motion has been seconded. All in favor, please signify with an aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
The postings that are going around, some of them are from this year, some are from previous years, just to show you some of the rich culture that Strut cultivated and some of the hard work that we have already done. And this email was the email of proof that we were called to this meeting, in which we were basically told you may have a show in the fall, you may not have a show in the fall, you can't have a show in the spring. So basically you put all of this work forward for nothing. And I won't say anything else based on that meeting. You can just hear what the committee has to say.
My name is Karen Wilkes. I'm the head stylist for Strut this year. I'm also a senator in SGA. I did want to let everyone know about the work that we put into it. I was formerly in charge of contacting the designers, so once we let the designers know about the changes and everything, they were pretty bummed out. They had invested time, money already. Over break, they started fitting, on their dress forms and everything. So, I mean, this change has kind of affected our entire committee, our designers, everyone that's put time and money into it.
I'm Brandon Turner. I was the street team coordinator for Strut this year, and basically, once we got to the meeting, they told us that there was no possible way that we were going to have a show. We were given no real excuse on why the show was canceled. We basically ran around in circles and basically told to tell everybody else who was a part of the show that the show was canceled and that it was the school's decision. My street team alone is 70+ people. I had to email them all last night, and already I've been receiving emails from parents who are concerned about this because, I mean, not only were we affected, but a lot of them put a lot of their time, a lot of them feel like they wasted their time trying to, feel like they wasted their time trying to promote. And one of our big arguments about this is that we let the show not happen this year. Everybody that they're working to is that when they try to bring the show back, the name will be tainted, and that people won't want to deal with Strut again because we already contacted sponsors, which are other stores, and a lot of them aren't just it's kind of unprofessional for you to ask them for something and then bring it back and say that we're not having a show anymore.
Hi everybody, I'm Hannah. I'm logistics manager at Strut. I'm just going to piggyback off of what everybody was saying. We have been working for a long time, strenuous hours, time, efforts, all that good stuff. I don't know if anybody's affiliated with Strut or has heard about it, been to some of the workshops. It's a big thing. It's a tradition which in turn is revenue. And I think that was one of the concerns that was addressed. A lot of the organizations, the student organizations that are on campus don't receive that revenue, don't bring back all that stuff, all of that revenue, all of that, the pride, the esteem, all that good stuff. I'm gonna keep it short so somebody else can talk, but, that's pretty much it. It's our plea, we put our heart and soul into it, so.
Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin Alfred. This year I was the fashion director for Strut. And just really briefly, I just want to share about the career goals and opportunities that Strut would have offered to myself and a few of the other committee members. I'm looking forward to becoming a fashion editor and stylist of a magazine, and I feel that this organization would not only have been a catalyst to me jumping off in a career such as that, but there are people who work in PR, there are people who work in marketing, and different things like that that could allow us to kind of get an edge up in our competition, because not only is this kind of field really small, so the competition is really large. So being a part of something like this is a leg up. We're not in New York. We're not in California. So being in Richmond, Virginia, it's really difficult for us to stand out and stick out. And something like this, I feel like, is a way that we can kind of branch out and be who we want to be in the future. And it's really unfair. I was really devastated by the whole thing, and I can speak for the whole committee when I say that we look forward to the show coming back because we need rest.
On Friday, we had a meeting with a few members of VCU, and I was sitting with Dr. Rod, and I'm not sure that these two members of the family were Megan and Mary, and after an hour and a half meeting, I'm still unsure as to why Strut is not happening. We were told that we had a show once we got back in January. For them to tell us on that Friday that there was no show was a slap in the face. I graduated in May, so I was told I can still do the photo shoot and have my picture put in the flyer for next semester. I didn't want to be in the flyer because that's my position being executed by someone else. They're taking all of our work. For everyone to be up here to be able to do everything that we've done since May and have someone else do it for us is so unfair. And the fact that when we were told we're not going to get paid, we didn't care about that. We still wanted to put on a show. We told them that we could cut the budget and make it a great show, which it was the money calls, and they told it's not the money. So still no answer as to why we don't have a show.
Are there any closing remarks? There's 1 more minute left for presentation time. There has been a motion to extend presentation time by 5 minutes. That motion has been seconded. All in favor, please signify with an aye. Aye. All opposed? Division. Okay, so division has been called. Now when division is called, that means that if you have to stand up, you have to rise on whichever side that you prefer. So if you would like to say yay, you rise. If you say nay, you rise. Wait, hold on a second, I was just explaining, guys. I was just explaining. So all in favor, please rise. There, 27. That's majority of quorum, so the motion passes. So we have an extension of 5 minutes. Just so you guys know, quorum is half plus 1. Okay?
Okay. And you guys know, another big thing about Strut, one of the big arguments we had about Strut is that there's another fashion show that some of you guys will be aware of, the very fashion show that the School of the Arts is on every year. But unfortunately, if you're not part of the School of the Arts, you are not allowed to basically be a part of it. So, and another problem with that is, for you guys who haven't tried to attend before, the tickets will only sell out within a couple of hours because it's in a very small venue. Me, as I'm going to be school of education, so without Strut, I would not be able to have any outlet as far as the fashion. we have a lot of business majors on our team. Business majors are not allowed to be a part of the show. Marketing, any of those. Biology, yeah, we have. And I mean, as we've talked to alumni, a lot of our alumni who have went on to do big things have said that a lot of them don't study fashion. Fashion, a lot of people in the fashion business right now did not study fashion in college. So it's not fair to us as students who are paying for this organization for us not to be able to do it. And another thing that was brought to our attention that kind of disturbed us is that the money for the show is still sitting in the pot somewhere. They're not going to give the money to another organization. It's just going to sit there. So we're just not going to have a show, and the money is going to be kind of in the air, basically.
So it's like rollover.
Rollover. So, yeah.
And real quick, this is how many people signed up at Solo Fair that wanted to be a part of Strut. It was 300 people.
Okay, I'm just saying something really brief. So information, on Friday when we had this meeting, we were presented all of these obstacles, so-called, that we have to overcome this year. Okay, we had finance, we had competition with the fashion team. Basically, we refuted all of those statements and we brought forth something else that would equalize, if not defend our position as to why we should have this spring. So if we have provided all of this evidence, we have yet to get any evidence as to why or how this is going to benefit us if we move to the fall. We have had no logistical means, we have no charts, we have nothing. We haven't received anything that would say that this will benefit us, when in fact it will harm us in so many ways.
It was based off assumption. They just said because it's the day before Easter, they assume it's going to be a train wreck. So those are pretty much the words verbatim. And basically what we're asking from you is to support us in being able to have a show in spring. We still have time to get contracts through, make the voices heard. We have a board of directors, which is why you have the constitutional dialogue in here. They're the people that should look at this. Those are the people, and it's made up of students faculty as well, that should be the one that look at this and decide whether or not we shouldn't have a show. Why the other people can have their shows in the spring? Imagine working so hard for something that halfway through an administrator that does not even contribute to the student activity tells you you cannot have a show with plain difference. So we just are looking to you as advocates for us, because that's what the Student Government Association is all about, to represent us and make our voices heard and make sure we have a show this spring. Did anybody have anything like that?
We have 2 minutes, guys, so we can probably.
Just to kind of piggyback off of what Jasmine was saying about the board of directors. Before we started the actual school year in August, I was actually elected to be a student member of the board of directors. And like she said, the decision should be made by the board of directors. And as a student, being a part of that committee, I was never sent an email. I was never given any sort of notification as far as a meeting, not only a general meeting, but never a meeting about Strut. So, as she said, the board of directors, from my knowledge, has not been a part of any of these decisions that have been made. So, we've pretty much been cut short of the protocol and the way things should.
And I was notified that the reason they haven't yet was to wait to see what happens with Strut. If they push us back to the fall, then they can bring it forward after that. So they were waiting around to see if we failed, basically, in order for the board of directors to deal with that action.
There's 1 minute remaining.
So I'm all for advocating for what the students want, and you've already clearly expressed your wants, but through what avenues do you want us to advocate? Like, what exactly can we do to help you, aside for it being on paper that we support you, if that makes any sense?
That is a major way. Everything that we need is basically consistency society, so that if we get a petition together, and people saying they will come to the show, that they support Strut, then they would be more willing to work with us. The whole reasoning why we can have Strut was because an angry parent wrote a letter to Dr. Rao, and it trickled its way down to basically say that we can have a show because of previous years.
There's like 30 seconds left.
When can we find
presentation time is ended. Okay? Jasmine. Okay, so there has been a motion to extend by 1 minute.
2 minutes.
By 2 minutes, excuse me. That motion has been seconded. And guys, I will let you know, our meeting is supposed to end at 5:30. However, we can extend the time for our meeting for however long anybody motions. Sometimes this does happen because if there are concerns, we should address them. So just remember to be flexible in that matter. So there has been a motion to extend the time by 2 minutes. That motion has been seconded. All in favor, signify with an eye. Aye. All opposed? Nay. Any abstentions? Okay, the motion is passed. Motion to yield the floor to Austin? Okay.
I'm not in Strut.
Just because I want everybody to know facts and make sure that everything's out there, so that you can make an informed decision for yourself. Do you guys know how much the show costs and what the ticket outcome would be and what the attendance of previous shows like last year was?
Yeah, the ticket thing got passed around. The ticket thing got passed around. Last year we had attendance at about 1,400 according to the ticket sales. And we had a budget of $85,000 that was allocated to us, but we talked to them and we said we will cut the budget back if it's the money. We've already cut the budget back where last year we spent $12,000 in publicity by the end of the show. We're halfway through and we've only spent $1,000 in publicity. So that is an example of how we can cut it back. I can't give an exact number of how much it's going to cost by the end because sometimes certain expenses, but it's going to be a lot less than $85,000. If the advisors would just work with us and advise us on how to do it.
Can I ask
Please
I understand the contribution of Strut to the student. I'm very well familiar with Strut. My major concern is so what is the main reason that you guys were cut off? Was it because of low attendance, or was it?
We weren't given a solid reason. We weren't given one.
So that was just a low reason.
It wasn't a solid reason.
Okay, I heard you guys mention about last year you have about 1,400 people. So you guys are not advocating for the Segal Center. You just want a place to have a show.
Well, the only place that we could have it that's available is the Segal Center. We were told we can't do the convention center, we can't do Landmark. They didn't even get back to us, and the Commons is too small.
Did they give a reason why they can't do the convention center?
No, they just said we're not for Segal.
We have time for one more question, and then you guys can get contact information for people from Strut to contact in reference to the matter.
Well, does it have to be inside? Can it be outside? Like, can we use the Commons Plaza and do it then? Then you would bring out more attraction that way?
We tried that way, but it's a certain number of people you can have in the Commons Plaza. And then also, we have a part of Strut is half performance, and so it would be even more money if we tried to get all that stuff outside.
All right, Justin, did you want to provide everybody with contact information so they can contact you if you have further information or further questions?
Sure. Yeah. Strut.net.